So we're going to be talking about one of the most aversive tools in dog training, the prong collar, also known as the pinch collar. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll show you guys actually how we physically use it in different situations here with Bucky. But people often think that it is aversive and it hurts the dog and it scares the dog into listening to you, and that is never the idea. People often don't know what they're talking about. Non-dog trainers, people out there on social media, people commenting on videos, people online, they see it, they're like, oh man, this is so scary, all you do is hurt the dog, whatever. That's not what you do. The idea of the prong collar is to help the dog understand leash pressure and understand rules of the game a lot quicker, as opposed to a flat collar, and it's also safer, right? A dog that pulls a lot, on a flat collar, they can have damage to their trachea very easily. The prong collar helps with all these things. First thing that we're going to talk about is what to get. So we have a prong collar here. Generally, the 2.25 size fits the majority of dogs. You don't need a massive prong collar. They make a size smaller and they make 1 or 2 sizes bigger as well. Bucky is 85 pounds or so, and he is 100% a 2.25. I think it's a small or medium. Unless dogs that are massive, if it's a 110-pound dog, still 2.25. We're talking about fit. We want it to fit the dog snug and tight. We don't want there to be any slack. So what we're going to do, you can get a little closer, is the reason they call it a pinch collar too is because these prongs, to get them unhooked, you actually pinch them. So you pinch this together and it opens them up. And we've already fitted this for Bucky. But this, I'll put it back together so you can see. This middle part goes at the very bottom, and this part is what your leash hooks to at the very back of his neck, very top. Bucky, we're going to unhook it. We're going to unpinch it. Put his leash down. Sit. Good boy. Put it on him. It rides high on his neck, pretty much as high as possible. We're going to put it together. He is probably one size, so right, we need to remove one prong. So we're going to remove one, make it a little tighter, because it was a little too loose. Now it's snug. It's not choking him, but it's snug. And we can barely move it around. We don't want to be able to move it around nearly at all, but we can barely move it around. Okay, so that's exactly how we fit it. Next thing we do is we're going to take your leash. You're going to hook it to the hookup. You can also use it there on both of them, but it's going to be much more effective if you just use it on the back. I'll show you why. Take it all off. We'll put Bucky back on his leash. So, if you hook it up to both of them, put it back together. So, say right, this is the dog. If you hook it up to one, the correction is the collar tightening, right? Like that. If you hook it up to both, it's right. The correction is the bite of the prong collar as well, but it's going to be much more effective, almost similar to a slip lead. But we're going to put them on him. Make sure we have the right spot. Again, ride high and tight, not too tight. You're also not going to want to leave it on your dog permanently. Use it for walks. Use it when you need to use it. And don't use it. Don't have your dog wear it when they don't need to use it. We'll hook the leash up. And one more thing after we hook the leash up onto it is a safety clip. Super important, because sometimes the prongs do fall off, break apart. Safety clip essentially attaches to the leash, and we'll attach it to his normal flat collar, which is not going to fail. So we've attached it to both of them. So now, if the prong collar were to fall off, we still have control over him. Safety clip is super important. It's how you lose a dog. Highly recommend. Put it back on him. So there are a couple uses for the prong collar. The two main ones are going to be dealing with dogs, aggression or fear aggression issues. And the second one is going to be, working on their engagement, whether it's on leash, inside, just working on stop, for example, stop pulling, right? Working on a heel. You're going to kind of use it the same way for both of them in different situations, but you want the leash to always be slack. This is great. Good boy. He's getting paid constantly. We've only used it a couple times on him, so right, we're still showing that this is a fun experience. And you want him to pay attention to me, the walker, the owner, whoever is walking him. He's not walking the owner is walking Bucky. And with slack in the leash, whenever he stops paying attention, he goes around, it's a pop. Good boy! He feels the correction and he gets paid immediately. Paying is super important when you give a dog a correction, because you not only want to say, hey, you're doing something wrong. When they come back and do the thing that you want them to do, hey, you're doing something wrong. This is what I want from you. Good boy, right? And so I stopped. He stopped with me. We're going to use simple leash pressure. If a dog is pulling really badly, what you can do is use a couple, not heavy corrections, but heavier pops, where a dog is not responding, turn around and walk the other way, give him a pop. Bucky, come on. Good boy. I'll give you guys another example of that. Good. Right? I just stopped and turned around. He was with me. He gets paid. He does not get a correction. Good boy. Right? We're going to constantly pay him for this stuff and build this engagement. If he's not looking at me, if he's looking over there and I start to slow down and he doesn't slow down, he's not paying attention, and I'm going to set him up for a correction on the prong collar. Not to hurt him, but we have this on him right now to train him, right? Whenever he's not paying attention with me, I'm going to turn around and look and walk the other way, and he's going to feel a correction. Oh, shoot, he's going that way. What the heck? And he's going to quickly understand, okay, I have to pay attention to him, or I'm going to get a correction. And when he does pay attention to me, he gets paid, right? It's yin and yang. It's this and that. It's not only, oh, you get paid when you're with me, but when you're not with me, do whatever you want. That's positive only training. Doesn't work in reality. Good boy, right? And so we're going to use this leash pressure to guide him where we want him to be. The second tool, right, if he were super reactive, if there were a dog walking by and he were jumping, we're going to correct, sit, good boy. We're going to give him a job to do. And before the leash gets tight, we need to correct him. Once the leash is already tight, it's too late. You have to, right, go forward with it. Good boy, let's go. And once he's starting to understand a heel a lot better, so you can start introducing the heel command. Good boy, good heel. If a dog is aggressive, kind of the second of situations where you use this, or dealing with, whatever issue a dog may have. Essentially, the idea of the prong collar, you guys can take this how you want to take it, but you try to bite someone, I bite you back. Bucky is not aggressive at all, but there are a lot of dogs I deal with that are aggressive. You try to bite someone, you try to bite me, I'm going to bite you back harder than you tried to bite me. And when you stop and you're relaxed, you're going to get paid. It's the same exact idea, except when a dog tries to bite, it's going to have to be a heavier correction. Heel, Bucky, let's go. I started walking, he didn't walk, I gave him the tiniest bit of leash pressure. Good boy. And he's with me, constantly praising him. When a dog goes in and tries to bite, or growls or lunges, they get a correction and they understand, okay, whenever I try to bite someone, I get bit immediately and instantly back. And it then forces the dog to understand, hey, actually, really, it's not a bad thing when someone comes up to me. It's not a bad thing when a dog comes up to me, whatever issue the dog has. And so that's the whole idea with the prong collar. It's not an aversive tool. Use it how you want to use it. If your dog is aggressive, has serious issues, reactivity, I don't care what treats you use. Your dog is positive only is not going to work. It's not like we're hurting him, inflicting a crazy amount of pain. Good boy, sit. Good, Bucky. We're just showing him what behavior we want him to do. He doesn't want any food, so we won't feed him anymore. But that's the whole idea. If you like these types of videos, if you have any questions, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions on it. and we'll see you in the next one.